Hey, I'm Scott Perdue, and this is FlyWire on the Road. I'm fixing to blast off for BeechBash in the Bluegrass at Madisonville, Kentucky. It's easy for you to say. Gonna go there and hobnob with other beach people. I think there might be some Cessna folks, maybe even some Piper guys that show up. I'm not sure. But I'm flying this Bonanza right here. This is CJ1. This is the #1 serial number aerobatic Bonanza, and that's what I'm taking to the BeechBash. Anyway, we're going to go and check it out, so I'll make some further reports, so hang on. Start off with some shots from the CJ1, the aerobatic Bonanza, on the way to BeechBash. I had to fly over. Some weather mostly was broken until I got to this place, and dodging this huge storm system that's coming out of Kansas. For some reason, Kansas spawns all these huge storms. What can you say? So it's really me flying. I just wanted to show you that. And around Memphis, I was out in front of it, so I was able to turn more northeast to head towards Madisonville, and I ducked under. That was up high before, about 11.5, and then here I'm down below, and I got to skirt around Memphis itself, but I was able to get below it, and it's nice and clear below. It's really nice and smooth. Not some crosswind, a little bit of tailwind, not terribly bad. This is Madisonville right here. You can see the parking area, and there's just a few planes here. This is early Thursday, and right up there you're going to see the BeechBash welcoming sign in the infield there. Pretty cool. They've got a nice overrun at this airport. This is, I think, one of the prettiest airplanes ever. It's a Beechcraft, Staggerwing Beech. Love those. Beech 18s, some of my next favorite. These guys really knew how to design airplanes. This is the hangar wherever all the events took place, and a quick look at the Beech 18s. They're setting up for music. This is Friday after it had rained a little bit. There's CJ1, and here's an old friend, 38 Whiskey Bravo. Just happened to park right next to me. Frank was there and did a formation of a 4-ship formation over the runway on Saturday. Some of the airplanes parked in the infield there.
Does that mean I'm going to die? Since I got all my boxes checked off. It's good and it's bad.
I'm not going to talk right now because this is ear candy, eye candy.
Stuart, Sam Gert.
Did a little bit of formation photo shoot with Brendan Henry's F-33A. It was a hoot. This is McKenzie's iPhone video of the takeoff. A lot of fun, but a lot of work. Here's some video from inside the cockpit. Mike Turner is flying his V-35 with the photo windows STC in there, and Gary Chambers is shooting. You can just see him through the window there. Bob Burns is at the right seat, and he's shooting. Nice smooth there. It's easy to do formation when you got a good wind.
Mark Baker, what can I say about this man other than he's the man? It's Mark Baker, guys. He's somebody I'm proud to call a friend. He's a neighbor, and he's devoted his life to aviation and to helping us. And unfortunately, as many of you heard, he's leaving AOPA to retire, but it's well-deserved. He earned it. And very knowledgeable person, very wise. I think the world of him, and I love hearing him talk, so I'm glad he came here to present to us today. And if you'll all give Mark Baker a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Well, good morning. It's great to be here among the beach people. I saw one piper up there. Who's that? How'd you sneak in here? Anyway, Beechcraft is a way for me to start out. When Sam said he wanted to do this, I've owned, I think, about 25 different Beechcrafts, from King Airs to Beech 18s to, everything all the way down to Sierra, and 14 different Barons. So I'm addicted. The only known cure is bankruptcy. Trying to avoid that occasionally. Lots of things going on in general aviation, and really this year, this last, call it 12 months, is one of the most exciting times that I've seen in now my 11 years with the AOPA. We went through the period of, this privatization talk 5 years ago, which was very dangerous. Because you've joined the AOPA and many of the other organizations, it was general aviation that put the lights out on privatization 5 years ago. And I want to thank you for what you did by calling your congressperson and senators. And it went away only because general aviation got in the way of it. And frankly, we don't want to be like the other 60 countries that really have hurt general aviation as they've converted from, a system that works really well in this country to a privatized system that really just supports the airlines. So that was a big win a number of years ago. And 7 years ago, we got this thing called Basic Med. Some of you have heard of it. I hope so. There's about 85,000 people flying under Basic Med, and that was again because of your voices represented at the Congress with AOPA and others. But AOPA led the chase to get this Basic Med done. And today, I'm proud to say that the FAA has come out and recognized as just as safe as third class. And it is a really powerful way to stay flying at a lower cost for many of us that have had some medical issues maybe in the past, but more importantly, just to try and keep us safe, keep us out flying, because the more you fly, the better off you are. In AOPA's chance that we are going to try for. I know we got one Canadian friend here. I saw what's my Canadian friend. Hello, Canada. Canada. I'm talking. Oh yeah, you guys are Canada. They're really nice people. Hey. But we're still trying to get basic med recognized in Canada. In 7 or 8 years, trying to get the Canadians to recognize basic med. I believe either through a bipartisan piece or frankly working through ICAO to get basic med recognized around the world. Since we represent, I'm talking about the U.S., about 70% of all of general aviation activity anyway, why not recognize what works pretty well here? But it's really one of those things that takes way longer than I wish it did. But speaking about this year and all the things going on in general aviation, we have this thing called Mosaic. Many of you have heard of it, but it is really a way to take the light sport kind of idea originally up to something called 3,000 pounds, maybe a 60-knot stall speed kind of thing, maybe up to 3 passengers. All of those comments went in, delayed a little bit, but by first quarter of 25, I really believe we're going to have Mosaic as a rule and be endorsed and be available for those that want to take a light sport kind of activity up to something closer to 3,000 pounds and closer to a 60-knot stall speed. And I believe you're going to be able to do a lot of things to these aircraft and invite new entrants into the aircraft building business at maybe a lower cost. So pretty exciting time with Mosaic. It's been on this shelf for about 15 years. And now it's moving forward and it will be out, hopefully as a full rule, in less than 12 months from now. The other thing that's going on right now in Congress, and one of the reasons I got to jump out of here and get back and be in D.C. all week this week, is the reauthorization bill, which the House passed last fall, 100% bipartisan, which in today's world is almost hard to believe. We have a general aviation FAA reauthorization led by Sam Graves and Rick Larson on the Democrat side that sailed through the House completely bipartisan. Name me any other bill that has gotten bipartisan support in the last 5 years, and it just hasn't happened. But because it makes sense, our sky is about serving the general public in the U.S. And now there'll be things in that bill like getting money for smaller airports to have hangar funds and taxiways and other ways to really support our airports in the NIPIAS program. As well, it'll have moving the basic med up to 12,500 pounds for general aviation aircraft to be able to fly a caravan as long as you keep it to 5 passengers. Things like that are really supportive of the growth and the investment in general aviation. And I hope the Senate this week is going to be an important week. We'll get it done because otherwise they have to do another extension, which I'm not in favor of. So we'll be lobbying hard to try and get this bill through the Senate this week, and then it will be quickly passed by the president and on to a general aviation funding bill, which is really the first time it's ever been named general aviation. So that's a pretty exciting time.
BeechBash in the Bluegrass 24 was a week ago as I filmed this. Full disclosure, I misplaced my camera and I wasn't able to do all the shots I wanted to do, but fortunately, through the help of Sam and the folks there at Madisonville, my camera made it back to me, so I was able to put some of these things together. So at least we got something. So late as it is, there it is, but we had 107 Beechcraft show up, and I think they didn't count the Piper and the Cirrus that showed up. But hey, glad to have them as well. Somewhere over 230 people at the various events, and so I think that was a pretty good time. The movie on Top Gun movie on Thursday, the music on Friday, and then the time at Jimmy Riddle's Ranch on Saturday was a great time, and then everybody flushed out on Sunday. So it was a good time had by all, and looking forward to next year's BeechBash and Bluegrass. Hopefully it'll be just as much fun. I'm sure it will be. And you missed a good party, so you got to come anyway. A lot of fun things to get some fun flying too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next year at the BeechBash on FlyWire.